The first morning in my new house was supposed to be peaceful. I was unpacking boxes when a loud banging hit my front door, shaking it like someone wanted to break in before I could even reach it. A sharp voice screamed from outside, "Open the door right now. You can't live here." I froze for a second, confused. I had barely moved in, and no one here even knew me. When I opened the door, a woman stood there with her arms crossed, sunglasses on, and a clipboard like she was running the whole neighborhood. She didn't introduce herself. Didn't even say hello. She just pointed at my house like it was some kind of crime scene. "This property is under HOA rules. You're trespassing. Pack your stuff and leave before I write you up." I tried to keep my voice calm. "Ma'am, this area is outside the HOA. That's why I bought it," but she stepped closer, almost pushing her way inside. "Don't lie. Everything on this street is under my authority. And I decide who lives here. You're not approved." Her tone wasn't just rude. It was threatening, like she was used to people obeying her without question. I could see neighbors peeking from behind curtains, some even recording. Like this wasn't the first time she caused a scene. Then she lifted her clipboard and slapped a bright red paper against my door. "This is your final warning," she said. "Leave before sunset. I'll have security remove you." I couldn't help staring at the paper. It looked official. Too official. Stamps, signatures, even something that looked like an eviction code. But the more I read, the more obvious it became it was fake. Completely fake. I looked back at her and she smirked like she had already won. That's when something inside me shifted. She thought I was some easy target, someone who would panic and leave. She had no idea who she was dealing with. And she definitely didn't know. The one thing that made this whole situation dangerous for her, not me. But I didn't say it yet. I just removed the fake notice, folded it slowly, and said the line that made her face turn pale. "Before you try to remove me, you should find out who actually owns this land." Her smile cracked. She stepped back and for the first time, she looked nervous because she had no idea the truth she was about to uncover. Karen didn't like the way I said that. Her lips twitched and she tried to force that fake confidence back onto her face. "I don't care who you think you are," she snapped. "If I say you're violating HOA rules, then you're violating them." I walked past her and headed toward my truck, ignoring her angry footsteps behind me. She kept shouting, "Don't walk away from me. I'm not done." But I stayed calm, letting her words bounce off me. She thought she controlled, clear's throat, everything around here. She thought her fake paperwork and loud voice were enough to scare anyone. But she didn't know the truth. Not yet. And the thing about people like her, the more they don't know, the louder they get. When I opened the back of my truck, she followed so close I could feel her breath on my shoulder. "What are you doing?" she demanded. I pulled out a thick black folder, the one thing she didn't expect to see. A folder full of original landers, survey reports, and a federal letter she definitely wouldn't understand. Her eyes widened, but she quickly tried to cover it with a scoff. "That doesn't prove anything," she said, though her voice cracked. "That's fine," I replied. "Because you won't be the one checking it." She raised a brow. "Oh really? And who will?" The moment I turned around and looked her dead in the eyes, she flinched. "The county and the federal division that signs off on protected land ownership cases." Her face dropped for half a second, then she exploded again. "You're bluffing. I know every property owner here. I know every law that applies. You think you can scare me with some big words?" I didn't answer. Instead, I pointed at the small camera mounted on my truck's tailgate. Its red light blinked, recording every second. Her entire tantrum, her threats, her fake eviction notice, the color drained from her face. "To turn that off," she snapped. "No," I said simply. She opened her mouth to yell again, but then something happened. A black SUV rolled up slowly at the end of the street. She looked at it, then at me, and I saw pure panic flicker through her eyes. She whispered, "No, not him." And that's when I realized something strange. Karen wasn't afraid of me. She was terrified of whoever just arrived. And I knew the next few minutes were about to tear her entire act apart. The black SUV stopped in the middle of the road, engine humming low, windows tinted, too dark to see inside. Karen froze like someone had just pressed pause on her, her hands tightened around her clipboard, and for the first time since I met her. She didn't say a single word. The driver door opened slowly. A tall man stepped out, calm, silent, wearing a county badge on his belt. He didn't look like someone who showed up for neighborhood drama. He looked like someone who only came when things were already serious. Karen tried to smile, but it came out crooked. "Ahi, Mr. Carlton. I didn't expect you today." He didn't even look at her. His eyes were on me. "Morning," he said simply. "You must be the new homeowner." I nodded. "Yes, sir." He held out his hand. "I'm the county property supervisor. Got a call this morning. Someone reported an unauthorized structure on restricted land." My chest tightened. Restricted land. Only a few people knew what that meant. Even fewer understood why my name was on the papers. Karen pointed at me quickly, desperate. "Yes, that's him." I reported him. "He moved in without HOA approval. Built things without permits. He's violating every rule we have." He cut her off with a cold stare. "This house is outside the HOA boundary." She blinked. No, that's not right." "I sent you the maps. I submitted the reports." "You submitted forged maps?" He corrected. His voice didn't rise, and it didn't need to. "And fake HOA notices again." Karen's face went white. "Well, what?" "No, they were real." He ignored her and turned to me. "Sir, I reviewed your file. Your land isn't just legal. It's under a federal protection clause. That means no HOA, no private group, no individual can interfere with your residency or your construction. Period." Karen stumbled back like she'd been slapped. "Protected. He's lying. He's faking." He pulled a document from his case and held it up. "This is the federal approval with your name on it." And yes, I verified it twice. I watched Karen's body tremble. Her mouth opened, but no sound came out. He stepped closer to her. "I warned you last time to stop impersonating authority, harassing homeowners, filing fake complaints, forging signatures. You remember?" She shook her head violently. "I didn't. I was just trying to keep the neighborhood safe." He showed up out of nowhere. "I thought you thought wrong," he said sharply. "And this time there will be consequences." Her breathing quickened. She looked around, searching for support, but every neighbor watching had pulled out their phones, recording, whispering. She turned to me with wild eyes. "Did you call him? Did you set me up?" I didn't smile. "I just said the truth. I don't need to set you up. You did that all by yourself." She backed away slowly, shaking her head, her perfect world crumbling right in front of her. But what she didn't know, what not even the county official knew yet, was that her biggest shock was still coming, because she hadn't discovered who I really was, or the one connection that was about to destroy everything she'd been pretending to control. Karen kept shaking, trying to argue, but the county officer had already radioed for backup. 2 more units arrived, and the moment they stepped out, Karen's legs almost gave out because one of them recognized me instantly. "Sir," the deputy said, nodding with respect. "Didn't know you moved here. Need us to file the impersonation charges?" Karen's jaw dropped. "But why is he calling you, sir? Who are you?" I finally told her the truth. "I'm the federal investigator who approved this land years ago. I wrote the protection clause you tried to break." Everything stopped. The officer handed me the fake notice she posted and said, "This is enough for multiple charges. We'll take her in." Karen screamed, begged, tried blaming everyone. But the cuffs clicked on her wrists anyway. Neighbors recorded as she was led to the SUV, shouting, "You can't do this. I run this neighborhood." "No," I said quietly. "You ran it with lies." The officers drove her away, her voice fading down the street. I stood on my porch, finally breathing freely as the county supervisor said, "You're safe here. No HOA, no harassment, and no one will try this again." For the first time since moving in, the neighborhood felt calm. My home was finally mine, peaceful and free from Karen's lies.